Welcome students, welcome back to the video on bipolar junction transistors. So here in this video, we will be discussing about the drift in the base region and also about the base narrowing. So here we should know what is meant by secondary effect. So secondary effect are nothing but when we consider a normal analysis of the transistor, we assume certain conditions on which we will be deriving the equations for the current and the output voltage. So there are some effects which may dominate the conduction in transistors and under certain condition of device geometry and circuit applications. So for example, if we take graded doping, it can lead to a drift component of the charge transport across the base, adding to the diffusion of carriers from emitter to collector operation of the transistors. So normally, when I assume that a transistor is in the active region, we assume that there will be a forward current from the emitter to the base, and also the current will be moving from base to collector due to the diffusion process as well as the drift respectively. But there may be an graded doping, which may result in an extra current due to the drift in the emitter to base junction. So this drift component may increase or may change the normal operation of a transistor. So the proper consideration of their interaction, it can contribute greatly to the usefulness of the practical transistor circuit analysis. So coming to the graded doping, so graded doping is nothing but when I take a transistor, normally we assume that it is uniformly doped, but practically when we consider here, for example, in this case, if I take, so this is a P plus region where this is the emitter region where P is heavily doped, and I have the lightly doped N region, and the third layer here down at the bottom is of my collector region. So this is nothing but the X. X stands for the distance from the distance as from the emitter to the collector. So this is given as the horizontal axis, and the doping concentration is given here along the vertical axis. We can see that the total doping in the base region is sum of the acceptors and the donor ions. We assume that n of 0 is the number of charge carriers which is present at the emitter junction, and n of WB is the number of charge carriers which is present at the base region. So the total charge carriers which is present in the region is given by N is equal to ND minus NA. So ND is the number of donor and NA is the number of acceptors. So when we assume that there is an exponential change in the doping concentration, so the overall doping which is present will be given in this form. So this is nothing but the doping due to the acceptors as well as the donors. So the approximate exponential distribution of the net donor concentration in the base region is given here. Since we here the base is an N type, so we will be having the maximum number of the donors will be present here. So that is we will be having more number of electrons here in the base region. So what happens when there is change in the doping concentration? So when we assume that the emitter is heavily doped and the net doping concentration decreases exponentially. Because of this exponential decrease, there will be built-in electric field from the emitter to the collector. So the built-in electric field will introduce a drift component to the transport of holes across the base. So along with the diffusion, there will be also a drift component. So if we assume that I is the current due to the electrons in the base region, then In of n xn is equal to the drift component plus the diffusion component. So the diffusion is nothing but qa d suffix n into d of n of xn by dxn, and the drift component is given as q a mu n n of xn into e of xn. So e of xn is nothing but the developed electric field. This is the number of charge carriers along my xn, and this is the diffusion component. So the built-in electric field is given as we can find out using equating it to 0, and we can find out that the E of xn is equal to kt by q into 1 by n of xn, d of nxn by xn. For the doping profile of n of xn that decreases in positive xn direction, this field is positive because the minus of minus it will give me plus, and the field is positive, and hence the electric field will be directed from the emitter to the collector region. So for an exponential doping profile, the electric field will be constant. And when we solve this equation, we can find out we can find out the n of xn will be constant, and it's given as n of 0 into e power minus axn by wn. And so the electric field developed will be kt by q into a divided by wb. So the electric field which is generated will be found to be constant. This developed field aids the transport of holes across the base region from the emitter to collector, and the transient time is reduced below that of a comparable uniform base transistor. That is, the transient time of the holes or electrons based on the transistor will be very less when compared to the normally assumed uniformly based transistor. Similarly, the shortening of the transition time also plays a very important role in the high frequency devices. So this gives us how that is this discusses the variation in my collector current due to the graded dopant in the base region. So the next one is what is meant by base narrowing. So normally we have assumed that the base will be with effective width of the base will be uniform throughout the operation, transistor operation. But we know that the effective base width will be varying as the depletion region changes or as the reverse bias changes. So here the width of the base, effective width of the base is reverse or is affected by the reverse bias applied to the collector. If the base region is slightly doped, we know that the depletion region or the reverse bias connection will significantly extend into the n-type base region if it is slightly doped when compared to the other collector region. As the collector voltage is increased, that is the depletion region will increase, and hence the increase in the depletion region will take up more of the metallurgical width of the base LV, and as a result, the effective base with W is decreased. The decrease in the W causes the base transport factor to increase. As a result, the collector current IC increases with collector voltage rather than the slope introduced by the electric rather than staying constant. That is, in this diagram, we can see that initially, due to a applied voltage, so the depletion region is this, and because of that, the effective base width is here. But when I increase my reverse bias voltage, that is VCE2, my depletion region increases towards the base region, and hence the width of the base decreases. If the width of the base decreases, obviously there will be less number of recombination, and hence the collector current increases. So that is called as the early effect, and the voltage, that is called as an early effect. And here in this graph, we can see that the current, the output current will be having an increasing slope, or it can be seen to be instead of constant, the current is said to be increasing because of the early effect. When the tangents are drawn to this line, so it will meet a voltage which is called as the early voltage. And so this early voltage plays an important role in the breakdown. So if the reverse bias of the collector junction is increased, punch through condition occurs. The punch through is nothing but the phenomena at which the base region is almost zero. That is, my depletion region extends and it touches the emitter region, and hence because of this the holes which is present will be directly moving towards the collector region, and the device loses its transistor operation. So this condition is called as punch through. So for a normal transistor, for example, in a donor concentration, the base region of a PNP increases with the position from the collector to the emitter. The collector space region into the base becomes less important with increased bias as more donors are available to accommodate the space region. So here we have seen two concepts. One is base narrowing and another one is graded dopant. So both will result in the change in the operation of the transistor, and this should be considered during the design process. So thank you.